So let's bring in Ben Johnson from Ohio. He is the media reporter for the Daily Wire, which is a conservative news website. So let's deal with Santorum. Do you agree with my analysis?
I think your analysis is spot on. I would not have fired him for comments that he made to a private party, but I would have brought someone in to add greater context, which is the key word, which is so often bandied about on the left now, about the underlying situation. Obviously, Native Americans played a tremendous role in the founding of this country and are very much a part of the fabric of the United States. And one of the few areas where we really do need to have a reckoning with the way that we've treated people. So that deserves some commendation and some comment, I should say, when it comes to the statements that he made before Young America's Foundation. I wouldn't have fired him, particularly though I think this furthers CNN's goal of cutting its last formal ties with objective journalistic practice, because at this point there's essentially no one left who does anything other than echo the CNN party line.
All right, let me ask you this, Ben. CNN's ratings are collapsing on all fronts. They don't have one hit show. I mean, their morning show is almost off the air. That's how bad it is in the morning there. So their plan to present a monolithic ideological platform is failing. Why would they continue? Why would they continue to do that?
I think that they've doubled down on their ideology instead of on the market, what the market would tell them based on the feedback of their viewers.
For what? Why would they double down?
Like you were, yeah. Well, that's the academic line right now. On the left, of course, you have MSNBC, which admits more or less that it's on the left. Fox News admits that it's on the right. CNN honestly believes that what it's presenting is objective journalism. And then it has someone from the Washington Post on saying that the reason that they line up with the Democrats is because the Democrats live in reality and the Republicans don't. If you look at their ratings from January, they had one moment where they actually beat all the other networks. They had one bright moment where they were on top, which was January 6th, the Capitol riots, and everyone tuned in for their coverage because it was a different kind of coverage than you would have gotten from Fox or from a more conservative outlet. Every other time for the past 19 years, Fox has beaten them. For the last 13 weeks since then, Fox has beaten them. And right now they're in fourth place on cable behind Home and Garden Television.
Yeah.
So they're not listening to what readers are interested in.
If you're losing audience and money, why do you double down? Why? I don't understand that. Are you saying that CNN and AT&T, the parent company, all right, doesn't want to make money? They don't want to succeed?
I don't think that money is the issue here. You know, of course, they're part of a buyout right now, and they've asked Jeffrey Zucker to stay on. Now, as we know from leaks that have come out from CNN, Zucker lays down the party line every morning. And as long as he's the boss, that's going to continue to happen. So that needs to be taken care of at the corporate level above Zucker.
It's inexplicable. I guess you're right. They don't want to make money. They don't care about that. They don't care about having people watching them because it's a disaster. Now, I want to tell you one thing, Ben, and you guys at the Daily Wire should print this. Do you know the biggest thing that Native Americans did that influences this country to this very day? Do you know?
The biggest thing, I don't think I do.
Okay. So when you read Killing Crazy Horse, and I hope you have, and Santorum obviously has not, the Second Amendment of the United States giving every citizen the right to, quote unquote, bear arms, came directly from hostilities between white Europeans and the Native Americans. Because the white Europeans had to have firearms if they wanted to survive Indian attacks. They had to have them. That's why the founders put that in, because the founders knew that pushing west, they were going to run into hostilities, because the Native Americans, as any other group in the world, didn't want their land stolen. So there was going to be violence. That's why the Second Amendment's in there. Did you know that?
I was not aware of that background, but it makes a lot of sense, of course. I was more familiar with Lexington and Concord and the storming of the artillery at that point. But yes,
that Boston
that makes
and
perfect sense.
right, Philly, Boston, New York already settled, but not the West. And I have letters about this from the founders, Patrick Henry in particular, who basically said, look, we can't send anybody west unless they're armed to the hilt. And that is a cultural battle today, as we all know. Just thought I'd tell you, Rick Santorum has no clue about Native American history and how it really has influenced us. One more thing, Ben. When you're watching all the cable and network news operations, all of them, 100%, are dying. All right? They're losing audience at a historic rate. Why?
I think there are a couple of reasons for it. First of all, of course, everyone's down from last year when the pandemic was hitting and people had no choice but to stay home and watch television and order off of Amazon. But now that people have the option to go out, things are down. Of course, we don't have riots in the streets to keep up with. Another factor is very simply the fact that Joe Biden is president instead of Donald Trump. Donald Trump's pure media adrenaline. Everyone wanted to tune in to see what he had to say. Even people who hated him wanted to see what he had to say. And Joe Biden doesn't have anything to say. It reminds me of a Johnny Carson joke. Did you see the president's speech last night? Did you hear what he talked about? I don't think he said. That's typically the way that Joe Biden's speeches go. No one has any clue. You need a decoder ring in order to figure out what he's saying. So no one's interested in hearing him. And then, frankly, as we've talked about, they have purged as many conservatives as they can from the two other networks, MSNBC and CNN. As I said back when Air America went on the air, they were trying to displace Rush Limbaugh as the king of talk radio at that time. And I said, this will never go anywhere. No one wants to hear America sucks 3 hours a day. These networks are not going to go anywhere because they don't have a real constituency beyond the tiny percentage of secular progressives who are tuning in to hear their talking points regurgitated as though they were fact.
Yeah, and they're boring. That's the one key word. I turn it on. Hey, Ben, thanks very much for taking the time. We appreciate it. Fellow Americans, I am concerned about the U.S. dollar. Huge debt, as you know. Will it stay as the world's reserve currency? That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. And the only company I recommend, and have for years, is American Hartford Gold. I trust them. I've personally done business with them. They sell physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. And they make it very easy. So call them right now. Make sure you tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Since I have been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold shot up more than 40%. Silver, more than 60%. So don't wait. Call them now. 866-501-5201. 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.